I gotta pretend that I'm not doing anything right now. I gotta go back to the title card. Hold on, guys. This is the one. No, that's the wrong one. All right, here we go. Now you can sit here for about 30 seconds. Here you go, guys. Sit here for 30 seconds while you wait for me to fucking get my juice. Are you buying it? Do you think I'm actually getting my juice? I already got my juice 30 minutes ago. I'm sitting here in my chair, waiting for the stream to begin. I've got my juice in a glass. I turned the lights off in my room now. I can't find it. I found it. There we go. Let's go, fellas. Another catastrophic W for the... That's what they say, right? That's what streamers are supposed to talk about. Another catastrophic W for the Mr. Keating show. Say hi in the chat, everybody. Alright, let's get this stupid-ass title screen out of the way. Here we go. Wait a minute, never mind. Go back to the title screen. I want to get music on. Yeah, you sit there on the title screen. You'll sit there and you'll take it. And you'll like it. What's a good song? Here we go. We gotta get something. Something that matches this. Here we go. This be the one, I think. No, don't you play an ad for The Mandalorian while I'm trying to get the stream set up. Don't you try and do this for me. Here we go. There we go. Now we can don't have to pretend anymore. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, you dark chocolate deliciousness. Why is my text lagging so much? Welcome to the Mr. Keating Show. Serena Bennett's in the chat. What the fuck is going on, Serena Bennett? Have I seen the movie The Dead Poets Society? Has a cow ever been milked in its lifetime? This music is too loud. There we go. Let me repeat myself. What I said was, does a cow get milked every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on a farm? My God, yes, I've seen the Mr. Keating. I've seen The Dead Poets Society. I love it. It's an incredible movie. And my only goal in life, as a YouTuber, as a streamer, as a performer, is to come up first on YouTube when you look up Mr. Keating. When you look up John Keating, I don't want to see Robin Williams' face anymore. He's too famous. There's nothing I can do about it. In fact, my life is going so shittily that I'm even getting beaten out by the Mr. Keating on Big Mouth. I get taunted and teased about it every single year on Christmas and Thanksgiving by my family, specifically my younger cousins. It's torture. But one day I will prevail. The Dead Poets Society is an excellent movie, yes. And Mr. Keating is my favorite character, yes. I remember we watched it in English class back in what was it, 9th or 10th grade or something like that. And the entire time, every time he came on screen, everyone would turn their heads around, whip them around, and look at me and say, well, do I like tomatoes? Do cows get milked on a farm every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? I already said that. But yes, I do like tomatoes, I tell you what. Are you setting me up for some sort of roast or some sort of pun? I don't see where this is going, but I do appreciate the barrage of questions. I do like tomatoes. Tomatoes go good on many things. They go good on sandwiches, pizza, and that's about it. No, they go good on many things. In fact, I made a tomato sauce. Ugh. I got something caught in my throat. I made tomato sauce a few days ago. It was delicious. And you can use tomato as the base of many different sauces. My God. I'll eat them raw. I'll eat them cooked. You put a tomato in front of me, I'll give it a look. Why is the chat box so darn delayed? I'm going to take a look at that. Is it delayed by like 30 seconds? No. Nope. It says there's no delay. I guess that's just a latency issue. My bad. Listen, I've got next to me, this is an eggshell that I had this morning for this is the eggshell that contained the egg that I had for breakfast. I've got it in my hand right here. I'm going to take a bite out of it. That was terrible. That was disgusting. And so I'm going to let it go. Because you see, the lesson I'm trying to teach you today is that sometimes we hold on to things from earlier. Like I was holding on to that eggshell all day from breakfast. I let it stay on my back for too long, in my hands, in my pocket, on my desk, on the counter. I let it linger around longer than I should have, when I should have just taken the bite out of it, bit the bullet, and let it go. You have a great friend in Min Tomato. I don't know how to spell it. He introduced me to your channel. Do you know Min Tomato in real life? Do you know him in real life? Because I know him in real life. I know who you're talking about now. Who are you talking about, Serena? I appreciate you for coming to the Mr. Keating show. And I do you know Min Tomato? It's Min Tomato, I think. Because I don't want to dox him if you don't know his real name. You know, sanctity between internet strangers and all. Math. You know him in math class? Yeah, he's a math major. Yes. Chemistry. Yes. Do you two have chemistry? Ooh, do you have romantic chemistry? I'm chemistry. You're chemistry? Major, yes. So you two go to the same college in Nashville, yes. I do know Josh Cluxton, yes. Yeah, what do you think of Josh Cluxton? What's your opinion on him? He a good guy? Is he doing well? Is he eating his vegetables? Is he growing up big and strong? Is he doing everything he should be? I hope he's not sitting right next to you watching this right now, because that would be a little embarrassing for him. You know, all that shit I just said about romantic chemistry. Carry on with whatever planned. Well, that's the thing, Serena Bennett. I don't have anything planned. In fact, I never plan any of these streams. I just went on a 30-minute walk, and then I started hyping myself up in front of a bunch of random strangers. I realized I was in the dark and I was hyping myself up, getting all riled up. No, he is at practice, but he will watch this. Yes, I assume you're going to show this to him. All of it. He doesn't watch all of my streams, but he does watch my videos. And boy, on one of the recent videos that I made, he left a 5-paragraph comment. It really made me wonder what he was doing with his time, divesting that much effort and intention into a YouTube comment. It was 5 paragraphs detailing his absolute disgust at one of my videos. I was really honored. I'm going to make a video about that comment very soon. So I guess the moral of the story is, what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to go get magnesium gummies at the drugstore, get the raspberry kind, because the grape kind tastes like ostrich asshole. That's what I learned. See, I've got these magnesium gummies right next to me. Shit. Let me open them up real quick. Well, it was considerate of you to use Josh Cluxton's online profile. What's going on, Maverick? You see, if you're just tuning in, I was talking about how grape magnesium gummies taste like ostrich's asshole. And I learned the hard way. I was getting into a dispute with my bank about my credit card. Or not my credit card, my debit card. And I think they might have sent me the wrong thing in the mail. I've got to call card control in the morning and make sure they didn't just fuck my shit up for another 7 days, because I was supposed to take a trip and I kind of needed my card for it. Maybe I'll just hitchhike it all the way up. No, that's not going to work. Don't worry, you can force Min Tomato to watch all of these things. He's at play practice, isn't he? In fact, I'm going to text him right now. Oh, Josh Cluxton. You lucky duck. There we go. Send it off to him. He'll get back to me in 2 to 3 business days. Josh Cluxton is punctual about many things, but texting, he is not. Sometimes I'll hear back from him. Sometimes I won't. But usually if I send him something funny enough, he'll get back in due time. I wonder if Jax is in the chat. Just chilling and killing after a speedrun like that. Congratulations on your speedrun completion, Maverick H-File. It must have been difficult. I cannot sit down for that long. I remember when I tried to do my Diamond, and back when Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl came out, I did that 24-hour stream, and I wanted to die by Pastorius. Once I got to Crasher Wake, I wanted to die. I was literally having like hallucination, like literally. This isn't an exaggeration. This isn't hyperbole. I was having hallucinations by Gym 4, and I had to just compartmentalize my demons for about 10 more hours. I didn't end up finishing. I got to the Elite Four, and by then the sun was rising on the second day, and I realized I hadn't slept for 48 hours, and I wasn't getting enough water, I wasn't getting any food, and I realized I was going to critically injure myself if I didn't cease activity. Morning or night, Mr. Keating? Good morning, comical crab. I always say good morning no matter what time it is. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Mr. Keating Show. If you're just tuning in, I'm talking about the time that I started seeing sleep paralysis demons while I was awake. I completed a 54-hour, 100% run of Ridge Racer Type 4. I felt completely wasted afterwards. Yes, those are the kinds of things that really exhaust you. Those are the kinds of things that really put your mind through the ringer. I tried doing, when I was doing that, I was trying to do a Nuzlocke of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. And holy fuck, when I got to, I stopped at the Pokemon League because I couldn't take it. And then, thankfully, by the mercy of the gods, my stream shut off at the 20-hour mark because apparently YouTube will cut you off and then it won't archive anything after a certain point. And I guess that was the limit. So when the stream turned off, I just gave up and I went to bed. And I will explain this in the best way I can. The way that it felt was every time I closed my eyes, imagine, here, I'm going to draw this for you. Here's what it looked like when I closed my eyes. So just imagine that this is, like when you close your eyes, you have, oh shit. I have to put a little white outline around this so that you guys can see what the fuck is going on here. So imagine this is the space, like the darkness that you see when you close your eyes. Whenever I would close my eyes, this is what it would look like. It looked like a bunch of those wacky inflatable flailing armed tube men that you see at gas stations and car dealerships and road rallies. It looked like there was a whole bunch of them, like a sea anemone. And they were all wiggling around like this. And so I was scared to close my eyes after that, but I was also scared to keep them open because I was completely exhausted and I could barely keep them open. But every time I would close them, I would see this, and I just had to bite the bullet and say, "Okay, demons, come and take me." It felt like I was descending into hell, quite literally. That was some of the most interesting sleep I've ever gotten in my life. It was a sign. You had to take a pause. I didn't. The thing is, when I got to Crash or Wake, I was already starting to see these things, but I didn't take a pause. I just kind of burned on through. But when you burn the candle at both ends, eventually the melting's gonna meet the middle. You know. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the time I saw sleep paralysis demons while playing Pokemon for 20 hours straight. That wasn't fun. How are you all doing today? What an auspicious evening indeed. I almost spit up my drink on my keyboard. I keep doing this. I keep taking these risky ass sips. Maverick says, learned the hard way that too much time on entertainment is detrimental to our attention span. It wasn't just too much time on entertainment. I was live on stream the entire time. And boy, I realized I got exhausted. There was a point where I had to like get off camera for about 4 hours. I was putting myself on camera and I realized if I stay on camera, I literally started having those sort of like looping paranoid thoughts where I was like, if I stay on camera, I'm gonna die. And so I would sit on the couch next to where the camera was positioned That was how my thought process was. I basically had to stuff out everything that wasn't. How do I beat this Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge? And I was still Nuzlocking it, by the way, which I mostly did by combining a Rampardos, Infernape, who was really broken, and Blissey, and it was really easy. I got most of the way through. I probably could have done it. I played it for 20 hours that day, and I literally haven't touched it since. You can go check my channel and see the 20-hour video, but if you click on it, it will say this live stream is not archived, or something like that. I felt really demotivated after that video. I will tell you the truth, because I felt like I put my all into it, and A, I failed. I didn't even beat it, and B, it didn't archive it. So it was like, goddamn. Comical Crab says, what is your childhood nightmare? Or have you ever had a continuous nightmare? I have. That was a continuous nightmare. It lasted for so long. I had some crazy dreams that night. I'm not even going to get into those, but I do not have nightmares very often. Anxiety dreams are much more common. I've had like the kind where you feel like, oh, you lose all your teeth, or oh, slipping, control is slipping. I've had lots of those. I've had a few falling nightmares. I have a few nightmares that I'm embarrassed to explain, because if I did, they wouldn't sound very scary, but I swear to God that they freak me the fuck out. I have a few that are inappropriate to talk about. If you mean to say, what is your childhood fear? I used to be very afraid of the dark. And I used to be very afraid of little noises and creaks and crooks that got made throughout the house. You know, sometimes just randomly some piece of wood will shift, or the wind will blow against your house or something. You'll just hear a little somewhere in your house. I used to be scared of those noises because I thought it meant that a snake was living in the walls or something, or that some small creature was prancing around above my roof, or above my ceiling, rather. And those are always delightful. Excuse me. Damn, I want to pop another magnesium. Those got me feeling courageous. I'm feeling courageous tonight. Are you feeling courageous? It's a good skill to have, to be able to build up courage and put it towards something. Whether that's making a new friend, asking for a raise at your job. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you just gotta... I'm afraid of Wobbuffet popping up out of nowhere. Wobbuffet! I'm gonna try drawing Wobbuffet while I keep talking. Shit. Here we go. I'm gonna draw Wobbuffet from memory. He's pretty easy to draw, I think. Wobbuffet. Oh, I'm a man. Wobbuffet. Whoops. There we go. And then what does he look like on the face? He's got like this going on. He's got like this. Oh, his little hands. I forgot his little hands. There we go. That's Wobbuffet. What are we thinking, guys? Let me resize him a little bit. We'll put a little... He'll be our little friend over here. Oh, shit. Gotta fill that in. Whoopsie. Shit. There we go. Say hi to everyone, Wobbuffet. Comical Crab says, I once had a nightmare where I was being driven by a car. There was no driver and I was in the back seat. And let's say it ended up with the car going down an airplane strip and then it plunged me into the water. I could not open the door as I sank, and then I woke up and I never had the dream again. Very cinematic. I had a similar dream one time, but it was instead I got in the front seat of a car. And I thought, wow, I finally get to sit in the front seat. And then the car started. This was at an age where I didn't know how cars worked, so it just started. I thought that the cars backed up out of the driveway automatically. And it started backing up, and I was like, oh God, where am I going? And I thought the car was going to take me away. And then the car started driving on its own. My worst dreams, Maverick says, had to do with some horror movie characters, to tell you the truth, like Mary Shaw from Dead Silence and Samara from The Ring. I've never seen either of those movies, so I've got no fucking idea who you're talking about, Mr. Maverick. But that's okay. On the Mr. Keating Show, we don't ask questions. We answer them for you. Comical Crab says, the nightmare that I was talking about was actually a continuous pun, by the way, and it spanned for years. I thought you said you never had the dream again. Are you saying that it lasted for years? Oh, I've had dreams like that. I've had dreams where it literally felt like it was lasting for like weeks, where I was like, oh my God, I've been here forever. I've had one where I got stuck in a time loop. I've had dreams where I got stuck in a dream within a dream, and I knew that I was in a dream within a dream. You aren't really missing anything. Well, I don't think I'll be watching those. Horror is not really my genre. I will be honest with you. Yo, I gotta change this music up. It's been playing for too long. Get out of here. Nope. There we go, much better. Those demon faces are best left unseen. It lasted for years. Comical Crab, that sounds like a psychological nightmare. I've been there. I know what you're talking about. And those dreams aren't fun. Feeling like you're trapped in an existential void, never being able to escape, waking up and feeling like only a second has passed, yet it feels, from your perspective, as though you've been trapped in there for days, weeks, months, years, lifetimes. Sometimes it feels as though you've lived an entirely different life, and then you wake up and it was all snapped away from you, having to return to a mundane reality. Just remember, kids, imagination is the only true world. Reality is an illusion. So we don't gotta worry about those demon faces. We got Wobbuffet taking care of us, keeping us company. Isn't that right, Wobbuffet? Wobbuffet! Thanks, Wobbuffet. I appreciate you. Why don't you go get me some snacks? Okay, thank you, Wobbuffet. Thank you, Wobbuffet. Go get me some snacks. What snacks are you gonna bring me back, Wobbuffet? You better bring me something back, something good. Oh, here it comes. What do you got for me, Wobbuffet? What do you got for me, Wobbuffet? Gluten-free Oreos? Get the fuck out of here, Wobbuffet. I don't need your gluten-free Oreos. Time to die, Wobbuffet. There. He has been reduced to nothing. What is everyone's favorite Team Rocket Pokemon? It's gotta be Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet's the GOAT, dude. All you Meowth lovers are a bunch of pussies, no pun intended. I love Wobbuffet. He's literally the only one on Team Rocket who's actually strong. He stood up to Giratina. He stood up to Giratina in the movie. That's what a true comrade is. They just don't know how to... Wobbuffet is so broken. They just don't know how to use him to his full potential. That's because Team Rocket is a bunch of morons, but that's okay. Now, if we're talking about all of Team Rocket... Oh, I love Weezing too, you know what? I like Carnivine. I'm a big Carnivine fan. Inkay is not bad either. I like Inkay. Go Weezing! You smokescreen Weezing! Jesse! Jesse! Jesse Weezing! Jesse! Jesse. I was more of a Chimecho Pokemon. He was so sweet and would try his best to help James. Chimecho is very nice, very sweet. I know a few Chimecho fans, but I'm not one of them. I used to think Chimecho was a Sinnoh Pokemon. I never knew why. Because I've literally never seen Chingling. Is Chingling a Sinnoh Pokemon? Chingling's Sinnoh, right? Yeah, Chingling is a Sinnoh, but why would they give Chimecho a baby form? Why wouldn't they give Chimecho an evolved form? Chimecho wasn't even that good. Chimecho kind of sucks, I gotta be honest with you. Here's Chimecho's Pokedex entry. Chimecho makes its cries echo inside of its hollow body. When this Pokemon becomes enraged, its cries results in an ultrasonic wave that has the power to knock foes flying. See, first of all, power to knock foes flying is not grammatically correct. Second of all, this is the official Pokemon Ruby entry. Second of all, it sounds like that should be a powerful Pokemon, but goddamn, it sucks so much gorilla dick. Emitting ultrasonic cries, it floats on winds to travel great distances. They fly about very actively during hot seasons. They communicate amongst themselves using 7 different and distinguishing cries. It cleverly uses its long tails to pick nuts and berries, which it loves to eat. In Black and White 2, it says it cries echoes inside of its hollow body, and they emerge as beautiful notes for startling and repelling foes. It uses the sucker on its head to hang from a tree. So apparently, the thing on its head is not a handle for a bell. It is in fact a giant suction cup. Well, it was fun to chill a bit, but I gotta crash. Waking up early tomorrow for work, as usual. Yes. I'm glad you came in, Maverick. Thank you for coming to Mr. Keating's show. Make sure you get all those resources available for tomorrow. Make sure you get all that energy and strength saved up. And thank you for not reading this. You have a good night. Here comes the part. Good night, everybody. Not yet. I'm not going in. Not me. I'm not going anywhere. I've got at least a few more in me. Excuse me. Just a Maverick. You have yourself a good night, Maverick. Don't let the bed bugs bite. My God. What salty tastiness. I gotta tell you, I don't know who Jax is, but Jax, if you're in the chat right now, I saw you. I saw you subscribe to my channel while I was getting the stream set up. You jump scared the fuck out of me. I had my headphones turned all the way up for some reason, and I had Streamlabs open, and it sent the alert notification off. Boy golly giggity goo. That really scared me too, I tell you what. It was not a pleasant time. But boy howdy. I bounce back. Man. Maverick, now I'm just reading your stuff from the group chat. I wonder what would happen if half the landmass on Earth went under the oceans. I don't know, we'd probably adapt. A lot of people would be gone if that just suddenly happened, but it would depend on what landmasses went underwater. Would it be coastal landmasses? Is it random? If it was random, that's a whole different story. If it wasn't, that's also different. If it was just one half of the world, well, I don't know. Which half? The top half? The bottom half? Does direction even exist? I got tipped. Someone tipped me. Thank you, Wish, for your tip. That was a few days ago, but never popped up on stream, so thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why has my timer stopped climbing? Goodness golly. Well, if it was completely random, then boat travel would probably become a much greater commodity. Those who were able to drive boats, those who own some sort of flotation, they'd be the big money makers. You have to imagine the price of everything would increase dramatically. Emergency services would have to evolve. Air travel would become more popular. Land, space, the price of land would go up so dramatically. It would probably be a really bad thing for everyone, to be honest. People would probably try to start making their own artificial islands eventually after the dust cleared and people tried to start bouncing back, reeling from the mass casualties that it would cause. I don't know. It's not a fun thought experiment for me. I don't like to think about what would happen if half the landmass on Earth suddenly went under the ocean. And the only reason I don't want to is because I want to eat these magnesium gummies. Magnesium. Good in my tummy. Imagine selling acres of land for millions of dollars. Ooh, you don't have to imagine that. People already do that. When I was a boy, I remember my dad read me The Iron Giant, a story in 5 nights, and he did it the way you were supposed to tell the story, which is you read the first night, and then the second night, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. You read each chapter of the story on one night, and you save it for the next time. Maybe, just maybe, next week, I'll read The Iron Giant during all of my streams, and I'll do it every night. I'll come in, chat a little bit, and then I'll read one chapter of The Iron Giant. I said I usually don't plan these streams, but it's fun to plan things from time to time like that. Plus, it's a killer book. I'll have to either find a physical copy, or I'll have to find a PDF. Can we please unsquish Wobbuffet? Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. I think we broke him. I think he's broken. There we go. Wobbuffet, I hope you learned your lesson from that little timeout. That's right, Daddy can't stay mad at you. We are going to make you a little wider, though. You're going to be wide, Wobbuffet. There you go. And we'll move you down a little bit. There you go. He's learned his lesson. He's paid his dues. It's okay with you. Wobbuffet, welcome back to the crew. I wonder how many eggs I'm going to eat tomorrow. You wake up every day and you eat a bunch of eggs. I've heard that eating oatmeal before going to bed is a really good way to have a good night's sleep. No, I don't know if that's true or not, but I am going to try it tonight because gosh darn if I couldn't have me some oatmeals, I would love a bowl of oatmeal. I used to eat it every morning before school with some eggs. That was delicious, and that was when I was trying to get stronger too, and come to think of it, that's when I made some pretty dramatic strength gains as well. So maybe doing it before bed will help me now. Ooh, I'll do 30 push-ups. I lost my good hair comb. Not that I've been having much luck with that recently, but goddamn, there's so much static electricity in the air that I haven't been able to do a goddamn thing. It feels like I'm either sticking it to my head or fritzing it out. No fun for me. How do you quote texts, long quotes in APA, MLA citation? I'm not interested in any of that bullshit. Who do you think would win, Wobbuffet or God himself, Arceus? Well, canonically, of course, Arceus is going to win. In a fight, if you're actually asking who's going to win, probably still Arceus, but I mean, Wobbuffet was in Ubers for a reason. How long was Wobbuffet in Ubers? Let's see. He was in Ubers starting back in, let's see. In Gold and Silver, he was in OU, or he was actually in NU, but Wobbuffet kind of sucked back then. Then once abilities came in, and once he got Shadow Tag, he became an Uber immediately. Diamond and Pearl, he's still in Ubers. Arceus is better, unequivocally. However, Wobbuffet still has the chance. He always has the opportunity to kill him. Always. Black and White, he's in UU, Blacklist. But he has some niche in VGC. He has niches in OU and Uber. Oh, it says he's useless in OU. Okay, so Shadow Tag is banned in OU, but it's not banned in Ubers, which means he's better in Ubers than he is in OU. Okay, so that's funny. And then everything after that, he's pretty much only had like a little niche in Ubers in every other game. So that's about it. Arceus claps, Wobbuffet wins some of the time if you play him right. That's the only way to say it. It is fun when you get someone online with Wobbuffet, but most people know how Wobbuffet works nowadays. Plus, Arceus is a mixed attacker, and even though people usually like to run extreme speed sets with Arceus, they usually carry extreme speed and judgment, so you basically have to do a coin flip to see if you beat him or not. So practically it's a 50-50. Although I guess if you were smart, you would just stack Swords Dances until you were strong enough to Oko Wobbuffet, which would take a while though. Although if he saw you setting up, then he could Destiny Bond. But so I guess if you're smart, Arceus should usually win against Wobbuffet, no matter what. Especially if it's one of those like extreme killer Swords Dance Arceuses. If it's not, and it's one of those like toxic recover Arceuses. Oh, with judgment and extreme speed. Arceus just usually has the upper hand in all facets. There's really no chance for anyone else. Well, I'm going to end tonight's stream off with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. What quote is that? I've got no idea, but we're about to find out. I'm just going to Google an Abraham Lincoln quote, and we're going to read. There we go. Quotes. Here we go. We were talking about holding on to things for too long. Here he is. You may fool all the people some of the time, and you can even fool some of the people all the time. But you can't fool all the people all the time. Abraham Lincoln. Thank you, Abe Lincoln. And one more. What is this? Like that boy in Kentucky who stubbed his toe while running to see his sweetheart. The boy said he was too big to cry and far too badly hurt to laugh. I don't know what that's about, but good for you, Abe Lincoln. I don't know about you stubbing your toe and meeting your girlfriend, but I hope you win her heart someday. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Mr. Keating Show. If you have any recommendations for what we should read on tomorrow's, this weekend's, or next week's stream, please leave it somewhere in the comments, either on this video or another. Whether you're tuning in live or coming in later, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, everybody.